What is going on? Welcome to another video. Today we're working on the 96 Jeep XJ two-door. I've been doing little things here and there. It actually hasn't passed emissions yet, and that's because last time I went to get emissions, I had a coolant hose pop. The 96 and older had like some kind of valve here, but I replaced it with the newer 97 heater hoses, which don't have that, and so they go right back to the firewall. On top of that, once I put the new hoses on, I found out that the water pump was leaking coolant, so I replaced the water pump along with the thermostat and the thermostat housing. So the issue I'm having now is that I don't have a water temp gauge. Now in this Jeep, I think it's 96s and older, they should have a water temp sensor that goes into the block, kind of like right there. You can see that lip. Now, obviously this one doesn't have it. And I think also that the harness here belongs to maybe a newer model or older model, because you can see that I found the connector for the water temp and it does not work. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna route in using this heater hose here. We're gonna install a water temp gauge. The previous owner had one in here. I'm gonna replace it with a whole new one. This one's looking beat up and old. And I'm gonna do it in a nicer, more, clean way that looks presentable. On top of that, we're gonna mess with a little bit of the wiring. I have some new grounds to put in today. I mean, eventually I'm gonna get a kit from, I forget the name of it, but it's a company, here in the States, and they make a whole cable setup for this vehicle. This thing's been through lots of things. I think at one point maybe there was rodent damage, and that's why the wiring's been messed with, but we're gonna get that sorted out. I'm gonna relume or tape some of these wires, make it look nicer as I've done here, using some Testa tape. And that is the plan. Hopefully today I get to go pass emissions and get it registered, and then I can drive it and start focusing on some other things. But my main goal for this engine bay is to make it nice and clean and organized, but we're a little far from that right now, so stay tuned. And I will be posting videos pretty regularly, so thanks for the support. All right, so here's my plan. I'm gonna take this T-fitting and route this into the heater hose line. I found some adapters to screw into the top of this that this piece right here screws into, and using some kind of Teflon tape, we're gonna wrap these that way they're not leaking, and got some clamps here to hold down the hoses once it's connected. All right, I'm gonna start by disconnecting the battery. All right, quick little update. So took out the battery, disconnected a few things. I have this connector here for the ground for the battery. As I started getting in here, got a little carried away, so I took out the battery holder here. Super dirty. Went ahead and degreased it, cleaned it down. Now I'm gonna wrap some of these wires, just trying to make them look a little bit more presentable, more organized. And along the way I did find that this was not even mounted down, so there's two bolts, one here, one on the back side, and just went ahead and used some bolts that I had laying around. Probably not ideal. I think eventually I'll get some shorter ones that aren't sticking through like that, with some washers, but this should hold it down for now. Just keep it in place. I mean, I think it's pretty important that this stays in place. But yeah, keep getting at it. So I feel like this looks a little bit better. Obviously, I don't have the battery back in here yet, but I just went ahead and wrapped all the wiring that was loose, just to kind of clean it up and protect it. Cleaned out some of the connectors and just kind of tidied it up over here. I'm gonna install the battery holder, whatever you want to call it, back there, and then I'll probably move on to the coolant system. All right, so quick update. I am about to put the battery back in. I have just put or mounted this within the coolant line here. So now we should have engine temp. Pretty straightforward. You know, obviously it gets a little messy. I had a towel right here just to kind of catch some of the coolant that will come out. But essentially that water temp sensor comes through a hole in the firewall. I mounted mine right up here. It's actually not screwed in or anything, but it seems to fit. I might, you know, eventually make more of a permanent bracket for it, but for right now, that's gonna work perfectly fine. Just kind of tuck the cord down the seam here. Looks nice. And then it goes through that hole back there in the firewall. So now we should have engine temp. That's exciting. I'm gonna go ahead and put the battery back in and we'll see if this thing starts. I did use some of this Teflon tape here, hopefully so it won't leak, but this is pretty straightforward, just a T-fitting with a few clamps, and I'm excited. Let's go. All right, so everything is back together. We got the battery back in here, coolant reservoir, we have our temp sensor there. Hopefully it doesn't leak. And I think we're ready to start this thing up. So got a mess going on here, but let's give it a shot. We got power, that's good. Blinkers on. First time it started all day. Doesn't appear to be leaking. Let's go. Well, thanks so much for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. But looks like it's holding 10. There's no leaks. I'm gonna take it for a drive. And on to the next project, I guess. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.